Steve Kim for Maxboxing here, and once again, we are with Freddie Roach, victorious as always with Manny Pacquiao. Freddie, you ever feel like the jockey of Secretariat?
Yeah, I have the horse that keeps winning, that's for sure. But Manny is a thoroughbred for sure.
This fight, it's interesting. On the scorecard, it was a virtual shutout, basically. You guys won every single round. But the physicality of the fight said something different, didn't it?
Yeah, you know what? I know we dominated the fight, but it was a hard-fought fight throughout. I mean, Margarito was coming forward all night long. He was very strong. He was working the body. He actually hurt Manny with that double left hook to the body. With the second left hook, I thought for a second Manny sank a little bit, and then his mind and his heart said no, and he tapped his gloves and said, "Let's go on." But it was a very physical fight, very hard fight for both guys.
It's interesting when you look at Manny Pacquiao. Everyone knows about the speed, the punching, the combinations, the footwork, the athleticism. The one thing I think is overlooked, though, and we've talked about this before, from the David Diaz fight on, his ring IQ has risen exponentially, hasn't it?
Unbelievable. You know, ever since he started studying tapes and learned how to pick his opponents apart, he's completely a different fighter. And the thing is, he studies him. Because before, below Diaz, I'd get me in to look at a tape of a fight. He'd watch like 30 seconds, get bored, and walk away. But now he'll study a guy, he'll learn his bad habits, and he knows how to take advantage of those habits. So it's really changed his life.
Manny Pacquiao's toughness, though, let's face it, he came into this ring about 3 or 4 weight classes smaller than this guy, 17 pounds. His toughness, though, is another underrated trait, isn't it?
You know, he just refused. I mean, you know, he was stopped early in his career, back when 112 pounds and stuff like that. To knock Manny Pacquiao now, to knock him out, it's almost impossible because he has so much passion, so much heart, and he believes in himself, and he has the whole country behind him. He doesn't want to let them down. I mean, that double left hook to the body, it was a great shot by Margarito, but the thing is, he sank a little bit. And, you know, he said, "No, I'm not going down." He rose back up, spun out, and tapped his gloves together and says, "Let's go." You know, he's got more heart than any fighter I've ever seen.
Well, speaking of heart, that's the one thing at least Margarito showed was toughness. In 9, 10, 11, and 12, or before the 12th, were you saying to yourself, why is this guy being allowed to come out on the opposite corner?
I was. The thing is, you know, he was tough, yes, and he was taking a lot of damage, a lot of punishment, and you know, and the fighters never quit. That's just embedded in us. We don't tap out. We don't quit. Right. You know, the thing is, but you know, that's what the corner is for. The corner is supposed to protect the fighter. Right. You know, when you have a fighter that can't win the fight at that point, doesn't have even a lucky punch is not going to change anything at that point, because 9, 10, 11, 12, he was just arm punching. The 8th round was his last round, competitive round where he was trying to land hard shots. But then when Manny hurt him Manny hurt him with overhand left early in the 9th, and then it was definitely over by then. I would have stopped the fight by the 9th round, but you know, again, he had a young corner that wanted to prove something, and you know, they proved he's tough, but I think they ruined his career. I think he'll never fight again.
Right. Freddie, before the fight, it was interesting. There was all sorts of stuff going on. I'm ringside. There's talk of Ephedra, cups of coffee. You wanted to do a pre-fight urinalysis test, which is ironic to a lot of people given what happened with Mayweather and those negotiations. What was that chaos like?
It was crazy. You know, they have ephedrine in their bag. They brought it. Did that fall into his bag by accident also? That's bullshit. You bring it to him, and they have reason to take it. They said, and then they started drinking coffee. And at the rules meeting, the only thing allowed to drink in the dressing room is water and sealed Pedialyte Gatorade. That's sealed. That's the only thing allowed. And then the commission said, well, it's up to him to take it, because if he takes it, he'll test positive, so it's his decision. I said, okay, if I have loaded gloves and I want to use them, do I take? But if I don't get caught, it's okay. Right. That was bullshit. I mean, I think he got caught with the ephedrine. We got him before he took it. Supposedly they put the pills down and drank the coffee instead. So they say he didn't take it. That's what HBO told me they have on film of him putting the pills down, but he drank 3 cups of coffee instead.
My question is this. Does this go back to the fact that the commissions and the inspectors, they sometimes drop the ball, that there isn't enough good oversight in those locker rooms?
I think that the guys should be more educated. They should have they should know what's on the ban list. I told them it's on the ban list, Ephedra, and they told me they knew nothing about that. I said, what do you mean? This is your job. And the thing is, the only thing, again, we went over in the locker room, the only thing allowed was Pedialyte, Gatorade, and water. That's it. No coffee, no nothing else, no stimulant. Well, so the thing is, I made us think about it, and they talk about the hand wraps. I said, hey, you had a guy in my dressing room from start to finish. If he wasn't paying attention when I was making strips of tape, that's not my fault. I said, so they complain about the hand wraps, but my complaint was about him taking something that's going to enhance his. I still think I want to see his blood test still. Mm-hmm. I know they're trying not to take it because they said they had to go to the hospital and so forth, but I would like to see that blood test because he had it in his bag. I think he took it.
Freddie, leading up to that week and to the day of the fight, the comments that were on the video made by Robert Garcia, Brandon Rios, and Margarito, making fun of your infirmary, the concerns that you had always as a trainer, and the fact that I think you admitted this was not exactly the most optimum training camp. How tough was last week for you?
It was a tough week. A lot of anxiety, a lot of sleepless nights. It was a tough week. Manny, he peaked a little bit later than usual, but we had to use every day to make that peak. And usually we peak a lot earlier. I think Manny maybe did a little bit too much too close to the fight, and I think he did fatigue in the fight a little bit. But I think also he threw a lot of punches in the fight, and he has a big guy pressuring him all night, so that had a lot to do with it also. But I think we can be a better Manny Pacquiao out there if we get rid of the distractions of him being congressman right now. The thing is, my basically get to America a little bit earlier is what my plan might be.
Freddie, that's my next question. Shouldn't we just face the fact, and we've written this, you're going to have a distracted guy. That's Manny Pacquiao, and sometimes it just may not matter. Isn't that just a part of life that it's going to be Manny being Manny?
100%. Manny's going to be Manny. So the quicker I can get him to LA, the less distractions, of course. Well, no, not less distractions, just different type.
Right.
See, Congress is competition because he wants to be the best at that, and it's competitive. Singing on the Kimball show and stuff like that, that's just fun. I don't care about that stuff. That gets his mind off the fight and stuff like that, and it relaxes him. And, going to endorse Harry Reid, an hour flight back and forth, that's just stuff he enjoys. But Congress is something he wants to be the best at. He wants to improve his country, and he's taking that very seriously. So that's more of a threat than any. Right. Congress is more of a threat. Everything else is just kind of fun and just killing time, Mm-hmm. So, again, if I get him out of the Philippines a little bit quicker, I think it'll be better for him.
I don't want to beat this to death because I think that too much is made of it, but unless he's fighting Floyd Mayweather, will you get that type of Manny Pacquiao?
I think that's the only guy that he'll get up for. He trains for everybody. He'll get in shape for Shane Mosley and those type guys. But you know what? Who really cares about those fights? I mean, I know they're credible opponents, of course. But the thing is, nobody wants to see that. Who's going to pay to see that? Mayweather, if he doesn't fight us, he should get thrown out of the country.
Here's the thing, though. Until that fight is actually made, and me and you are talking at the press conference, introductory press conference, should we just have a moratorium? Because aren't you getting sick of talking about it?
Everywhere I go, I get asked. That's the only thing I get asked about. So the thing is, make it happen, make it happen. We're trying. But the thing is, I'll be up to Floyd, and hopefully it will happen. The thing is, maybe Max sold him.
Freddie, Is it now back to reality? You're back at the Wildcard, and obviously some big high-profile fights coming with Chavez Jr. and Amir Khan. But this is a little bit more normalcy, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit more normal, not so crazy. The big one's out of the way right now, and then of course Chavez has a big fight coming up, and Amir has a huge fight coming up. So that's a really important fight. So we're back working hard on that and getting these guys ready for those 2 fights. Amir's fight, you know, that has potential to be like fight of the year also. That's the absolute war.
Freddie, final question. I know the AMC, it's been announced you're doing a reality show. You're going all Jersey Shore. So the people want to know, are you more of a Snooki or a situation?
I'm not sure. No. The thing is, you know, it's like, well, they follow me around and they film what I do and they film people filming me and stuff like this. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's okay. I mean, the guy's nice. When I get tired of them, they go home. So they're not too abrasive. So we'll see. Hopefully, well, they get 50 hours of footage now, so they're working on cutting that up now. And Peter Berg says it looks great, and he's my director. He's supposed to be pretty good at his job. So we'll see.
All right, Freddie, congratulations as always.
Thank you very much.